All right. Hey, how's it, everybody? I have some reverb issues. Whoops. Hold on. All right. There we go. Let's get our music going. Yep. 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 Here we go today. All right. Let's try this again, shall we? All right. Hey, how's it, everybody? It is 5 p.m. West Coast time. I'm going to call it 2 p.m. Hawaii time, 8 p.m. on that there East Coast, and 7 p.m. for our Central Time folk. I am Mad Statter. This is Chatter with Statter. Let's just see where everything scatters, shall we? All right, so let's find out who is here on the boat today. It looks like we've got Pacola T somewhere in the North Atlantic, which is kind of weird because I was expecting her to be somewhere near Paris because I thought she was doing the Olympics, but then again, I might just be making stuff up because I have been known to do that. Gina Gamba's in the house, Rick is in the house, Darlene is in the house, and Pacola T, subscribe for 33 months. Awesome, Pacola T, thank you. And let's see here, we've got Shock, making fun of my many hoonies, exactly. And, cool, all right, let's see, I might have missed some other people because I really scrolled awful long and fast, and there was a little bit of a pre-bout or a pre-stream party there because, yeah, that awkward moment when you tell someone at 4 p.m. you need to have so-and-so give me a call, but before 5, because at 5, I go online. Now, I will admit, they did call before 5. It was 4:59 when the urgent office issue that had to be dealt with before the end of the day phone call was made to me. So, sorry I kept you waiting, you guys. I had an urgent piece of business that apparently only I could solve. And as it turns out, actually, only I could solve it. And as it turns out, there was actually no urgent piece of business at all. It was a total misunderstanding. Yeah. Anyway, that's all right. That's okay. Because we had to wait around for Terry to come in with a raid of 4 people. Good to see you, Terry. Good to see you, Baby Bo. I've seen you over on Terry's ship before. It looks like we've got Panel coming in with Katie and Terry as well. Super stoked. Welcome in, Raiders. All right, so we are going to be doing some watery news today, and also some, I guess, land-based news. And this land-based news is probably not going to be very useful for the folks who just raided in, but that's okay, because we're only going to talk about it for like 2 seconds, and then we're not going to talk about it, because you'll see. But before we not talk about that thing, how about we get the party started, okay? Let's do it. All right, awesome, dude. DJ Smook 808 also came in on that raid. DJ Smook might have a vague bit of cares about what we're going to talk about, but anybody who doesn't live in the United States, this little bit is not for you. Yes, Gina, it is political in nature, but very superficially political. All it is, look, y'all, this is what I got. This is where I live. August 6th is not that far away. I don't know if you guys have already had your little primaries in your neighborhoods, but if you haven't had your primaries yet, it is primary season, so be sure to make sure that you're registered to vote, verify your voter registration, and vote in the primaries if you can. And if you can't vote in the primaries, get your voter registration all up to date so you can vote in the real thing. Now look, I'm not going to tell you how to vote, that's not my job. I just want you to be aware that some of the best ways to decide who to vote for in the November election is by voting in the primary. That is, of course, if you choose to vote at all. If you don't choose to vote, there you go. This is just a reminder for people who do choose to vote to make sure that you still can, because a bunch of different states have cleared their ballots for who have cleared their voter rolls for various and assorted reasons. Getting the dead people off. But some people, the dead people, they're actually not dead people. So you need to make sure. Anyway, Darlene coming in. Our primary is mid-August on the 12th, exactly. And DJ Smoke is just like, oh, y'all, it's been done already in my neck of the woods. So there you have it. All right. So Rick says it's the 13th, not the 12th. Either way, Gina, you guys already had your primaries as well. So, okay, yeah. So some of the primaries have already happened. Well, now, wait a second. Really? You've already had your primaries for like your city council people and all of that? I mean, I understand. This isn't even the one that we're really not talking about. This is for stuff like governor and stuff for like city council and like senators and stuff. So anyway, if you've still got a primary to primary, don't forget, it's primary season. And do I think I fell out of a coconut tree? Do you think you fell out of a coconut tree? No. Do I look like I fell out of a coconut tree? Because I'm afraid of heights. So I don't even know if I could climb a coconut tree, Terry. And yes, Rick, in Washington State, we have, that's a certain candidate's new meme. Gotcha. Okay. I had no idea. Like I said, we're not really talking about candidates here, but I will say, to continue on the forbidden topic, the state of Washington, we have voted by mail for a really long time. But even before we voted by mail, the state or your county always sends out a booklet of all of the people who are running with all of their statements and platforms and things in that. In Washington State, from what I understand, now I don't know, it sounds like this is not the case in every other state, but Washington State, from what I understand, is remarkably voter friendly in regards to giving you information about the candidates. They actively make sure that you have literature to base your decision on. And so I've had friends who've moved from other parts of the country who are like, I've never gotten so much info about vote. They've never made it so easy to vote in my life, basically, because the deal is they give you these a couple weeks before they mail these to you. Everybody who has a mailbox gets one of these stuffed in them, and a couple weeks before the election, and then they mail you your ballots, and then you mail the ballots back in. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And before everyone's like, voter fraud, trust me, dude, they signature validate. They signature match. They really do, because I've twice now had my ballots marked with, are you sure that's you? You need to prove that's you. So they actually do verify signatures. So, okay, so DJ Smook is saying that, yeah, Texas already had that primary election. Okay, cool. So yeah, we always have ours in August. And so, so for the last minute states, don't forget, it's primary season. And so that was basically all I really wanted to touch on this potentially catastrophic topic that we are dancing around. So, all right. And yeah, Darlene, I cannot speak for other jurisdictions. I can say, though, that in my county, boy, oh boy, do they verify the signatures. And that's all I can say. I cannot speak to any other system except for the King County system. For the King County system, oh yeah, they make sure. And not only that, they actually, when you have your signature call into question, they sent out a form where you can sign your name 3 different times, so they can see all the variations within a legit signature. Because, everybody's a little bit different every time they write their name. And so I don't even know how or whose job it is to verify the signatures. I mean, talk about a flippin' nightmare. But I mean, I can only assume it's a computer. I can only hope it's a computer. It wasn't until now that it occurred to me that it probably is a computer. But yeah, anyway, it's a computer. Why am I feeling sorry for a computer? I'm not feeling sorry for a computer, but you know what I am doing? I'm saying thank you, Baney Boo, for those 2 little cute bitties. Those cute little, those are so cute. I like those little bitties. Thank you so much. All right, so you wonder if that type of verification is done there. Well, Darlene, I don't know if Wisconsin, do they vote by mail or do you have to vote in person? Because if you have to vote in person, then that's a whole other level of whatever. But I do know that a lot of people, you know, with this last, when the pandemic hit and a lot of states were adopting mail-in voting as a safety protocol, there was a lot of concern among some people who feel like, who aren't familiar with that system. And when you're not familiar with that system, you can be scared of it. And I totally understand why people were like, I don't know about this mail-in. But from my perspective, embrace the mail-in, my friend. Embrace the mail-in. It cannot be any more user-friendly. Plus, you have a paper trail. So, Pinnell, they have a handwriting analysis to know your personality. Right, exactly. For a second there, that is what I was imagining, and I'm pretty sure they don't have that much. And, Shock, better to spend the money making sure people understand it in advance, or you get Florida. True, and also, okay, I didn't expect to spend this much time. And Rick, you prefer early vote at City Hall, usually no lines. See, everybody's got their preference. I prefer the mail-in voting because it will take me several days to fill out my ballot. I will get my ballot. I mean, I've already gone through, and talked about, nope, maybe. You study the ones that you're going to be voting for. And then, you get your ballot and you go through the book, and some of them I'm like, I just really don't know. And it's like a 3-day event for me to vote. So I can't even imagine having to do it in person. Like, that is way too much pressure. But everybody has their system, right? Everybody has their system. However, the one good thing, and people definitely can argue that this is not a good thing. And they might be right. But the one... Let's see, I need to find it here. Hopefully I can find it. Oh, where did he go? The one good thing is when you have... Oh no, I can't find him now. There's this one guy who is in every single election. He never wins. And he's called the Good Space Guy. And I'll tell you right now, the Good Space Guy. Oh, here we go. He's running for senator this year. Not here. This guy, Good Space Guy. Hold on. He kind of looks like Rick. This guy has been in every one of these for the last 25 years. And he's a bit of a local celebrity just for his appearance in the voters' pamphlets. And I have to say, because he's been running for so long and never winning, and nor do you want him to win. Let me just put that out there. He's called Good Space Guy for a reason, right? But I have to say, after seeing him on the ballot for 25 plus years, every election cycle, I look for him. And every election cycle, I'm like, how am I going to feel if he's not running for, because he's probably going to run for something until the day he dies, right? And so if I don't, it'll be a sad day when I open my voters pamphlet and Good Space Guy isn't in it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. He is a tradition in this county. Well, for for at least the last 25 years, because I've lived here since 97, so you do the math. So as many years as that, he has been in this county running for office. And the year that I don't see him in that pamphlet, I think we're going to have to go pour one out on the pavement for Good Space Guy. And Darian Scotland, I'm not at all surprised that you that you want to vote for the Beardies. Rick Foot 2024. Exactly. And yeah, Gina, exactly. It took you weeks to feel prepared and confident enough in who you voted for. Yep. That is, yeah, totally the case. And now, I know that this is knee deep in the weeds of politics. That's stupid, but the hardest positions for me to vote for are the port commissioners and the judges, because those people really don't have a lot of political history that's online. And so the port commissioners for the city of Seattle are hugely important. They're the ones who dictate the airport. They're the ones who dictate the water, the water shipping, the water shipping. The water shipping. Yeah, there we go. I mean, I guess shipping can be done on rails, so I suppose it's not redundant. But anyway, they're very important positions of very low publicity, very little celebrity, but holds a lot of power. And so you kind of need to make sure that you're getting somebody who is good, basically. Yeah. And Bumatai Mane in 2024, I could definitely get behind that ticket. And and I have to say, I think that Hawaii could get behind that ticket. I think California could get behind that ticket. And let's see here, Shock. You think Andy would get distracted too easy? Re-architect entire systems, have them break, and repair it in real time. There is some element of truth to that. And on that note, actually, for those of you who have not heard yet, Andy Bumatai's Daily Pigeon Live is going to be taking a hiatus for the month of August. So I guess September is going to be his first show back from that hiatus. But before he takes the hiatus, there's one more show left. That's going to be tomorrow. And tomorrow, our friend Medium 7 Up, aka Miles Wilcox, he is going to be co-hosting with Andy. Not just co-hosting with Andy the way I used to, or the way I have, but he's actually going to be in studio with Andy. He's on Oahu. I think he's on Oahu right now. I don't know. Miles gets around, but he's on the islands right now. And so he will be in studio with Andy tomorrow. And yes, Shock, I actually, yes, shout out to Andy Bumatai. And Shock, I actually thought that you knew that Andy was taking August off with your comment about rebuilding architecture in real time, because he's actually going to be revamping his studio over the month of August. Yeah, he's actually going to be revamping his studio over the month of August, and so he won't be able to put on the Daily Pigeon Live. And Shock, I don't think it's really well known that he's taking the hiatus. Yeah, I know, it is just what he did. Right, exactly. I don't think it is well known that he's taking the August hiatus. I only saw a couple posts on Facebook from Nani Aloha, and frankly, the post that I saw, I didn't even read closely because I thought that it was just an advertisement for Miles co-hosting with Andy. But if you continued reading past the headline, you would also see that Nani mentioned that there's the August hiatus. And the only reason why I even paid attention was because someone actually tagged me in that post. And so I went back and I'm like, why is Misty tagging me in this post? And I went back and read it and I was like, oh, I don't know why she tagged me, but I'm really glad she did because I needed to know this. I mean, I guess I didn't need to know this, but I'm really glad I know this. And so now I'm passing it along to you guys. So tomorrow, definitely tune in to get your last fix, because it won't be around for a month. Hey, Chatter with Scatter Well, Chatter with Scatter will still be around. Statter might even be there. No, we'll still be around for the Wednesdays and the Sundays, etc. But yeah, you know, it might be a little different. It'll be different for a month. And Freudian slip, yeah, pretty much there, Terry. Exactly. Because the chatter does scatter, and statter is scattered. So there you have it, Rabbit. That is it. All right, so let's see here. What are we doing here? Oh, I know what we're going to do here. I wanted to show you guys this. Last stream, but I forgot, so I didn't. And also, actually, here's my real question, I suppose. Does it look like I have a bruise on my forehead? Like right there? Let me move my finger. I feel like I have a bruise. Does it look like I have a bruise? Not here. Here. I feel like I have a bruise. Here. And the reason why I feel like I have a bruise is because I woke up the other day and, okay, good, you can't tell because I can tell. It hurts. Good, not obviously. Okay, so I don't know what happened the other night, but I hit myself in the head with the phone. And I don't know why I did that. I woke up having hit myself in the head with the phone, wondering why I hit myself in the head with the phone. So, and now I've got a sore head. I truly have no idea. I don't know if like there was a notification that I heard in my sleep. I have no idea what happened. But yes, actually, shoot, Darlene. Okay, good. You're not seeing anything definite. Good. Yeah, I can't really either. But when I take my, like, I have a problem with, I can't see that part because my glasses. Anyway, I don't, it must have been an interesting dream. I don't know. The only thing I really remember is waking up going, ow, and wondering why my phone was glowing in my face. And, yeah, so hey, Kenny from the Cove, good to see you. I'm just relaying tales of how the night before last I woke up hitting my head on the phone, or rather I hit my phone on my head. I don't know, but I feel like I gave myself a bruise. And sleeping is hard, but if I run the resolution all the way up and make the screen big, I kind of do now. Oh, okay, so you can kind of see. One, if you look real hard. Got it. And do I harbor feelings about my head? Yes. Harbor feelings about my phone? Yes, I love my phone. And Gina coming in with something that is so obvious and it never even crossed my mind. If you have a little bit of first aid ice, maybe put it on there. It's not like I don't have a freezer full of those gel ice packs for just this occasion. All right, yeah. Anyway, so what I meant to tell you guys last stream, or not even tell you, just show you last stream, but I completely forgot to show you last stream. I'm gonna show it to you now, okay? Okay. I do have frozen peas. I have frozen peas. I have frozen corn. I have frozen peas and carrots. I have frozen spinach. And that's all I'm gonna tell you. Mostly because I can't remember what else I've got that's frozen. If I had some arnica, I'd be putting the arnica on it, dude. I don't know if you guys have ever tried arnica on bruises. And when I say arnica, I don't mean, oh, that fancy stuff says it's got arnica in it. No. I mean dried up, ground up arnica in Vaseline. I mean, it's ugly, it's gritty, it's gross. It's magic. It is magical. Dude, you just, boom, tiny little bit, and you've got your little bruisey bruise gone the next day. And for somebody like me who bruises, if you look at me wrong and that bruise lasts for eons, arnica is exactly the most beautiful thing. Cola tea reminds you of the time my tablet was propped on my chest, reading in bed, cat jumped on me, knocked the tablet in my face, chipped your front tooth. Oh no! But yeah, that's exactly, these things, as I'm sure you know, you guys, these things are very dense. I mean, they're not, it's not that they're heavy, but for their size, they're kind of heavy. And so when they go and pop you one, owie, owie. And do I still have vodka in my freezer with my epic adventure with Jason Momoa? I do. I actually have 2 of the signed bottles on my shelf. One of the bottles in the freezer that's frozen. Okay, it's half bottle. And then I also have a whole entire other bottle of Tito's vodka that's probably 3/4 full, but that's not in the freezer. And then I also have another bottle of Jameson whiskey that's also not in the freezer. But I don't drink those things very often. But when I do, I do. Yeah. And, oh no, you dropped your metallic MacBook on your toe once. Owie. Yeah, dude. And Kenny, you tried some arnica on your iffy knees once. Apparently it's not for crummy knees. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't use it for any kind of joint pain. I've only used it for bruises. And boy, dude, the arnicas. All right. Let me try this again. Arnica works wonderful on bruises. That's all I know for arnica. Actually, that's not true. I also know that I have this arnica rub. That's one of the fancy pants ones that has arnica in it. It's not the Vaseline kind that I was talking about. I do have an arnica rub that I put on my plate and 6 screws in my ankle when it feels like it's separating itself from the bone. And so, and it does help a little bit with that as well. And you can play the harm arnica. There you go. There you go, Terry. I heard of somebody once whose little prankster friends zip tied a harmonica underneath their truck. And so every time they drove their truck, they heard this really weird whistling noise. So finally, after a while, they had to take the truck to the mechanic to figure out what that weird whistling noise was. And the mechanic got a really good laugh. All right, Picola T, time for Moi Moi over there on the North Atlantic. So we will hopefully see you on Saturday or on Sunday. And if not, we'll see you next time you're globetrotting and you have time to come in and say hello to us. And let's see here. Shocked to answer your question. It was probably close to 48 hours ago, so I suppose I should do warmth instead of ice. Got it. Okay. And let's see here. And Darlene, stub your toe, barefoot, outside on a big stone. Oh no, cracked one toenail. It bled. Getting better, clumsy you. I can only, yeah, but of course, yeah, dude, but you gotta walk on that foot. Oh, that just sucks. Having a toenail that's all cattywampus and cracked open and, yep. Barefoot, stub toe. I'm going out on a limb and saying that there was some words you didn't want probably your grandparents, but you didn't want your grandkids to hear a couple words that might have fallen out of your mouth in that moment. Yes. Yes. And, let's see here. Yes, Picola T, when you've got the minute, obviously share your videos and pictures from your world travels, because basically it's the cheapest vacation I get every year. So, share it all. And Kenny, you may have to try arnica on both your big toes. You dropped a student desk on your toes. Totally unfun. Well, Kenny, I'll tell you right now, if your toes are bruised, it might help. It might not help. It's not going to hurt anything, I don't think. But it definitely might help get rid of the bruising. And Pinnell, you dropped your sister's wall phone on your foot, bled a bit, and that foot still hurts now and then. Ow. And this, when you say wall phone, I'm envisioning back when phones used to actually have substance to them and weighed a lot. You know, Pinnell, I wonder if you accidentally broke one of your tiny bones in your feet. Because doesn't your feet, okay, wait, I don't know how to grammatically say this properly. Don't your feet have the most bones in your body? Doesn't your feet have the most bones in your body? Well, anyway, aren't there a lot of bones in your feet? I guess is what I'm trying to... A lot of little bones in your feet? That's what I'm trying to ask. And Andre, looks like Andre is in the house. Thank you so much for gift subbing to Marcel. And so let's see here. Oh yeah, they're bruised. You may have to do the hot needle trick to get some relief. Just like hands, lots of bones. Right, there you go, says Shock. But wait, Kenny, all right. I don't know if I really want to know, but I'm going to ask anyway. Do I really want to know? No, I do. I want to know. What's the hot needle trick? What's the hot needle trick? Oh, I don't really know if I want to know. I really don't know if I want to know. And good to see you, Verity Hunt. We are talking about bones. Bones in our feet. We're talking about foot injuries. We're talking about hurting ourselves. We're talking about bruises. We're talking about bruising our head with our phones, or our feet with our phones, or chipping our teeth with our tablets. We're talking about how graceful we are here and how we're just the epitome of style and grace. That's what we are here. Yes. 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 And Terry, a grand piano fell on you once. You're still recovering from that. Owie. And are you? Yeah. See, Shock, yeah, you have a nice big hematoma. You can drain it, but you have to be careful not to get an infection. Yeah, take a hot needle and push the tiniest bit past the nail to all the blood pooled under the nail, a way out. Yeah, why did I have to say do all? I didn't want to know. I knew I didn't want to know that. I knew I didn't want to know that. Okay, yeah, I didn't want to know that. But you know what I do want to know? I do want to know, why do we always have to wait so long for a Lono listening break, right? Why do we always have to wait so long? Because we could have a Lono listening break right now. But instead, I'm going to actually say, wow, you had a hematoma once and you got it drained at the hospital. And Verity, I'm still the owner of many broken bones. Still here. Gina, your right ankle still swollen. Dude, yeah, my ankle that has a plate and 6 screws in it, the bones are pretty much healed. The soft tissue surrounding that break is probably never going to fully heal. And from what I can tell, it's been over 10 years now. But what is the kicker is that plate and 6 screws, when the weather changes. So, the plate and the bone, like this is the bone, let's just say, and then this is the plate. When the weather changes, sometimes the plate feels like it's doing this, peeling away from the bone. And when weather changes a different way, sometimes it feels like it's doing this, peeling away from the bone. And either way, when it does that, it hurts really bad, and I don't like that at all. And that's when I use the arnica. And, yeah, Kenny's going to brag about things that I'm not going to talk about. Instead, I'm going to pay attention to Terry in Scotland because he's bringing up a very important point. Terry in Scotland is reminding me of something that I always forget. Statterbox at the cinema this Saturday is going to be a movie called Thelma. And Thelma, I have not seen it yet. It is a 2024 movie, I believe, if not 2023. It's a relatively new movie. And it's provided to the cinema thanks to Terry in Scotland. And it's about a 93-year-old woman who gets scammed, I think on the phone, but I'm not sure. Somehow scammers scam her out of like 10 grand. And grandma is having none of that. And so it's about her adventures in getting back at the scammers. I can't remember the exact description for the movie, but when I read the description for the movie, all I said was, oh my God, this would be my mom if this happened to my mom. And so therefore I was like, oh, well, we have to watch this. Apparently it's a very funny movie. And so it's called Thelma. You can look it up on IMDb. You can look it up on Rotten Tomatoes. It's got very good ratings, apparently. Ratings as in, you know, happy people who watched it, not like PG or R or anything like that. And so, yeah, if you want to see a relatively obscure yet new movie, it's called Thelma. We'll be watching it 6 p.m. West Coast time at Statterbox at the cinema. And Darlene is speaking the truth that I think we're all thinking about Kenny, which is, you're so much braver than me. I could not do that. I would have to go to the doctor. And Darlene, yes, we did receive the Dark Crystal, and that will be up on the cinema within the next week, and posted to cinema schedule in my Discord. Did you? Oh, good, fantastic. And if you didn't, I'll try to remember to do that later. And I've been meaning to post it on my Twitch stream, but I keep forgetting to do that. Speaking of things I keep forgetting, I keep getting distracted. You guys, look at this picture. I wanted to show you this picture last stream, and I've been trying to show it to you for the last 20 minutes here on this stream. But then I keep getting distracted, so I forget. And so, yeah, dude, this is Alaska. And guess what, dude? This is Alaska. I did not take this picture. I wish I took this picture. This picture was taken in Alaska. And guess what, you guys? It was taken at midnight. This was midnight in Alaska just a couple weeks ago. Midnight. That's right. Midnight. Because, you know, once you get above that there Arctic Circle, the sun never goes down. And when the sun never goes down, this is what you're looking at. That's what you're looking at right there. So, even though that's totally not very important, I wanted to share it. Darlene, where'd I get it? Probably somewhere on Facebook. I wish I could tell you. Actually, you know what? I think I can tell you. Hold on. Maybe that's not where I'll find it. I gotta find out where I put it before I can tell you what it is. Well, that didn't work out real well. Oh, is it on the one before that? Okay, I guess. Alright, so I'm not going to tell you right now, but I will be able to tell you shortly. However, right now, this particular stream, we're going to be showing a little bit of love to Lono today, because we've got 2 Lono listening breaks plus a 3rd video that has a lot of Lono in it. So, while I go look for some credits on that incredible picture, we are going to have our first of a couple Lono listening breaks. Alrighty, here we go. Boop.
Molokai, Kuhome, Molokai is my own. My Honoliva, oh alava, kaneke iao ke kai. Oh lokai, hono uliva o aloha lava kaneke ia o ke kai Olokai e kuome Ale he molele malama o ke oki Ki ho alu o o kaniho Kaneke ia o kaina alu Olokai e kuome Ale he molele malama o ke oki Ki ho alu o o kaniho Kaneke ia o kaina alu Molokai e kuhome Ana ke la hela o pele kunu Lo'i I ke kalo hana e lima E wahine ui molokai Molokai e kuhome Ana ke la hela o pele kunu Lo'i ke kalo ana e lima E wahine ui molokai Molokai e kuhome Aloha no uwai lako Po mai kai e la hui nei Ho'opono ia molokai Molokai e kuhome Aloha no uwai lako Po mai kai e la hui nei Ho'opono ia molokai Molokai Roll 'em, roll 'em.
Alrighty, thank you, Andre, for those biddies. And Mama Sean, welcome in, coming on in. Yeah, we're talking about skeeters. We're talking about skeeters. And Mama Sean said you just read that vanilla will keep skeeters away. Well, now that I can live with that. I'd rather have a bunch of vanilla on me than some of that DEET smelling stuff. I mean, I know DEET's really great to keep the bugs off, but it's kind of stinky. I remember when I was a teenager, I don't know if this is still around actually. Is Avon still around? But I remember Avon's Skin So Soft. It's like a moisturizing spray. But whatever was in that, it kept mosquitoes away. And so we would use Skin So Soft whenever we went camping. And Definitely not a fan of the smell of Skin So Soft, but it definitely smells better than like Deep Woods Off. So, you know. And let's see here. You use lavender to keep the bugs off. Yeah, I've heard that lavender works too. I will tell you this, dude, though. Lavender, honestly, it really puts me to sleep. I have noticed that whenever I have a sachet of anything in my car with herbal, let's start over again. Why is this so hard? If I have a sachet of herbs in my car and it includes lavender, I find myself getting sleepy behind the wheel. So I'm trying to say. And so yes, you buy the Skin So Soft too. Okay, so Skin So Soft is still around. Avon, Gina's coming in, is still around. And let's see here, but the Avon company is a structure you can't support. Oh, fair enough. Actually, I don't recall ever buying the Skin So Soft. I just recall using the Skin So Soft. And yes, exactly, Darlene. It is a very calming scent. And unfortunately, in the car, for me, it's definitely not something I want to have in my vehicle. It smells like sleep. But you know, I went camping in Eastern Washington once, and we were in the sagebrush area, and so I grabbed a handful of sagebrush and just put it in the back of my Outback. And for the next few months, every time I got into my car, it smelled like a McDonald's sausage sandwich from McDonald's, which was really quite lovely. And Pinnell, yeah, okay, that helps when you sleep. They have lavender spray for pillows. Interesting, I didn't know that. And, oh, what a great idea, Mama Sean, making lavender wands out of the flowers. Is that where you like braid the stems together and then they just make it all pretty? And Shock, you're gonna try a lavender sachet to see if it helps you sleep. Your hopes are not high. Well, you know what? Your hopes might not be high, but this, like you said about the arnica to Kenny, it's not gonna hurt. You know, it might not help, but it's not gonna hurt either. But pro tip: don't put it in your car. Because here's the deal, Shock, I will guarantee you this. If it doesn't work in your bedroom and you put it in your car, you'll fall asleep in your car. It'll work in your car. I'm sure it will. So don't put it in there. And, Andre, the funny thing is, when I camped with my mom, the mosquitoes always went for me way more than her. You're more browner than her. When I went out with my last girlfriend, who was darker than me, all the mosquitoes went for her. And poor lady, she was also very allergic to the bite. So in your world, I guess the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice in your small experience. That could be. I do know that my sister gets eaten way more than I do, and she does have a slightly darker skin tone than I have. That being said, almost everybody has a slightly darker skin tone than I have, so that's not hard to do. And let's see here. Oh, you've had them in your car. I'm assuming you mean lavender. As you keep one in your Aikido bag, you can smell it in there, but it doesn't make you sleepy. Got it. Okay, all right. Good. I just figured, you know, if it was gonna make you fall asleep anywhere, it's gonna make you fall asleep the one place you shouldn't be sleeping, i.e., behind the flippin' wheel. Okay, so let's see here. All right, I showed you the pretty picture, and Verity Hunt, that ibuprofen PM works for sleep. Honestly, to tell you the truth, and I know that this is dumb, but on nights that I am tossing and turning, I don't even take the ibuprofen PM. I just take ibuprofen, and maybe I'm just like in a low-level state of pain that I don't acknowledge, and taking the ibuprofen makes it less so, and so I can fall asleep. I don't really know what it is, but just taking a regular ibuprofen works for me. Now, that being said, I am not telling anybody to take ibuprofen for sleep. In fact, apparently in the UK, The simple fact that we can even buy a bottle of this over the counter is mind-blowing from what I understand, because in England, they pretty much just let you have Tylenol for everything. And as far as I'm concerned, Tylenol is useless as tits on a bowl. And they're starting to find out that Tylenol might be useless as tits on a bowl. They've never actually had any studies that prove it's effective. They've never done them. They just prove it might be. But all I know is I'm not a doctor, and I don't want to tell anybody what drugs to take. I will tell you what drugs I take, but I won't tell you what drugs you should take. That's all I'm saying. And shock, you've slept in your car while a rental once after being trapped at Atlanta for 30 hours after flying from Germany, giving up, getting a car and driving from Atlanta to just across the North Carolina line, 1 hour. That's all you got. Yeah, no, I can sleep way more than that. And eMusic, yes, Tylenol is horrible for the liver. That's a proven fact. There's an FDA warning, without a doubt. And I think that that's what they're starting to. That's what sort of, I think, started the actual review of scientific literature behind the effectiveness of Tylenol, was because it is so harmful to the liver. And so then you have to do a risk-benefit analysis. So then when they start looking for the benefits, they realize that there's actually been no real double-blind scientific studies proving the actual effectiveness of Tylenol. It's just not, we've just assumed it's worked for so long, I guess, or something, and it's been deemed relatively safe for so long, it kind of got lost in the cracks and the shuffle of the FDA. I don't understand exactly how that works, but I do know that does happen. It happened about a decade or so ago with my thyroid medicine, Armour Thyroid, which is desiccated pig thyroid, which has been given as a thyroid treatment to people with low thyroid for hundreds of years. Since before the FDA existed, this has been used as a medicine for my condition. Well, one day, the bee got up the FDA's butt, and they were like, we haven't really deemed this safe yet. And so there was a bit of a supply issue because there was a paperwork issue, and it took a couple years to resolve before the FDA was like, okay, I guess. And Kenny, no, Kenny, don't send me that picture. I don't want to see it. Actually, I don't. I'm sorry. I don't want to see it. And Verity, it's a fever reducer. I do believe that is the one thing that they said is like, okay, we can prove it's a fever reducer. But like as far as pain management and things like that, no, they don't actually know how effective it really is. And hey there, K-pop Kayla, good to see you. Let's see here. You wanted to, let's see here. Yes, we do want to watch Wind of the Reckoning. It's on Xfinity and other stuff. Yes, I'll talk about that in just a second, K-pop Kayla. In regards to the Tylenol, though, yes, I believe they found out it's good for fever reducing. But in regards to fever reduction, they're starting to realize that maybe it's better to let the fever run its course. Obviously, when the fevers get extreme and then you need to reduce it, etc. But they're starting to realize that there's some medical wisdom in letting your body get that fever up so it can burn that or do whatever the body needs to do to kick that virus, that bacteria, that whatever, the boogeyman that's causing you ill. The fever is actually part of that attack process, and it's kind of a good thing. So as Darlene said, it should be used sparingly. And honestly, y'all, here's what I can say. If you're concerned about that kind of thing, look up fever protocol under Google and see what the new guidelines for fevers are. They're recommending not, from what I've read, they're recommending not trying to, if you've got a fever of 99, don't take anything to reduce it. Just let it run its course. If you've got a fever of 101, definitely take something to reduce the fever. You know, that kind of thing. Yeah, right, exactly. Shock coming in with like the real news. Inflammatory responses are now viewed as largely supportive rather than something to be suppressed. Fevers, swelling, etc. Thank you, Shock. See, you guys, sometimes I make stuff up, but other times I know what I'm talking about. Okay? Okay? This is one time we lucked out and I kind of knew what I was talking about. Yes. All right, now, K-Pop Kayla, good to see you coming in with the facts. For those of you who don't know, The Wind and the Reckoning is a movie out of Hawaii, and it is all in in Olelo, Hawaii, the Hawaiian language. And it's an independent film, and many of us here on Chatter with Statter have wanted to watch it, myself included, Gina included, K-Pop Kayla, obviously. And it was in theaters for a while, but now it is streaming. It's on, I believe it's on Prime. I think it's on Amazon, which I think is the same thing as Prime, so we'll pretend I didn't say that. I think it's on Xfinity. I don't think it's on Hulu. I'm not sure if it's on Netflix. I just don't know. But it is on some streaming platforms. However, Statterbox at the Cinema and the person behind Statterbox at the Cinema doesn't have the technological wherewithal to share any movie that is streaming. The movies that I have that I may or may not be allowed to share, but I do anyway, have been taken from a DVD and ripped onto my computer. Anything that is streaming, I don't know how to rip it onto my computer. And if it's already streaming, I can't restream it because there's technology in there that knows what I would be doing, and they block it. They either block the audio or they block the video. And so I am unable to stream The Wind and the Reckoning unless and until I have a copy downloaded from somewhere. And I have no doubt in my mind that people who are more technologically astute than I am could probably do some sort of BitTorrent feed and grab it somewhere. I am not one of those people. I'm not saying that I have any moral issues with it. What I am saying is I am too ignorant. I don't know how to do it. See. Candy from the Cove. So since Reservation Dogs is streaming on Hulu, does that mean we can't share it with the Statterbox crew? Well, yes and no, Kenny. For you see, what I just said was, I am sure there is a way to get Wind in the Reckoning downloaded via some BitTorrent situation, but I am not capable. The exact same thing is true for Reservation Dogs. People who are capable of finding it on BitTorrent and grabbing it for me can do that. Season 1's already been done. I already have Season 1. That's how I got Season 1. And let me rephrase that. I don't have Season 1 yet. And the only reason why I don't have Season 1 yet is because I'm running out of space on my computer and on my external hard drive. So I need to get an external hard drive so I can get the first season of Reservation Dogs. But someone who's, unless they admit who it is, I'm not going to out them, but someone in the Statterbox crew did grab Reservation Dogs. So yes, we will be sharing it with the Statterbox crew because someone did that. I have an illicit connection with a certain pirate who shall remain nameless. Precisely. Don't know who that could be. But I know, but nobody else knows, I'm sure. Anyway, so we will be sharing Reservation Dogs, just not until I get an external hard drive. And the external hard drive is one of the top priorities for me right now. Unfortunately, I'm my higher priorities is paying off my phone bill so they don't shut off my service and making sure my mortgage got paid. The mortgage part, we're good. The phone part, we're still giving them money almost every day to keep it off one more day, So there's not a lot of extra money in the Statterbox coffers right now for an external hard drive. Next payroll, there will be an external hard drive. And once we get the external hard drive, there will be Reservation Dogs. And then once we have, Reservation Dogs, we'll figure out when we're going to start watching Reservation Dogs. But indeed, just because some things are off limits doesn't mean all the things are off limits. And I'd be willing to bet that one day Wind in the Reckoning might come into the BitTorrent. That being said, I still might not pirate it. My morals are flexible, and I'm gonna have to see how it rolls out. I still might not pirate it because the reality is this was an independent film put on with independent funding by independent filmmakers, independent sources. This is a tiny production. And honestly, I don't really want to take any pennies from their pockets. Now, if it was an Apple TV production, that's a different story, but it's not. And so I'm not promising we're ever going to see Wind in the Reckoning here on Statterbox at the cinema. So I do, if you have the opportunity to watch it on your own, I do encourage you to watch it that way. That way they can, get a penny from your pocket going to their coffers. It's just my ethics. I'm not trying to give you my ethics, but that's just how it sort of comes out in the wash for me. Now, if I find out that they've got a $quadrillion payday because everything got streaming, then I might pirate it. We'll see. And exactly, Andre, I always know a guy or a gal, and we don't ask. We just enjoy. Yeah, exactly. You know a guy, you know a girl. Yes. There was a television show many, many years ago, probably in the 1990s, now that I think about it, where it was a family, and then the uncle of the family, he was a little bit shady. And the uncle of the family, he knew a guy. It's like, you need some tickets? I know a guy. You need some free parking? I know a guy. And so finally, one of his nephews finally asked him, it's like, how many guys do you know? And so he sat there for a minute. About 75 guys was his response. And I quote that all the time. About 75 guys. Yep. Oh, you remember that show from that from that description? You remember that show? That's really funny. That's on par with I was describing the movie that got me banned from Twitch to one of my friends, and he immediately knew. He was like, "Oh yeah, I know the scene you're talking about. They're in the kid's bedroom, and he gets out of the pink bed and walks naked over to his friend, scratching his butt." And I was just like, "Wow, how did you remember that scene that got me banned and you weren't even there?" A guy with the thing at that place, exactly. The kind like that. Anyway, so totally different topic, y'all. I wanted to let you guys know that this is the season again. Last year around this time, I was going on and on and on and on and on about the Muckleshoot and how they were hosting a Salish Sea paddling rendezvous protocol is what it's referred to, where tribes from all over the Salish Sea and even outwards beyond the Salish Sea on the coast, and some of them even as far down the coast as California, these native communities paddled their canoes to land on Alki, and that happened last year around this time, and it was the first protocol that had taken place since COVID began. And so there was like a 4-year gap where there was no protocol gatherings, and in July of 2023, there was maybe a 3-year gap now that I think about it. July of 2023 is when the first of the protocols came back. And Muckleshoot were the hosts, and Muckleshoot were the hosts, and Muckleshoot, their tribal center is inland, up south of Seattle and inland, but the Muckleshoot and the Duwamish is the tribe that the Seattle area land is on. The Muckleshoot and the Duwamish have sort of merged into one tribe because the Duwamish isn't federally recognized, whereas the Muckleshoot is. Anyway, Alki Beach was where the Muckleshoot had their protocol landing. And Terry, I've danced with a man who danced with a girl who danced with the Prince of Wales. Might have been written by me. Oh, abso-flippin'-lutely, dude. But anyway, back to the paddling. So this year they're doing it again. Only it's not Muckleshoot that's hosting protocol. It's the Puyallup tribe that's hosting protocol. And I know that this means little to nothing to you, but you know, you knew that this was happening, right? Look at that, right? Okay, so on the left side of the map, you'll see a place called Seattle. You might see it. It's in big letters, probably the biggest letters on the map. That is roughly where, you know, they landed last time in the Salish Sea. Well, if you go a little south of Seattle, follow that red line just directly down south, and just straight line down, and you'll see a town called Puyallup. No, it's Puyallup. There you go. Puyallup. That is where the tribe is located that is hosting the new paddle for 2024. And the paddle for 2024 is, the theme for this paddle is Power Paddle to Puyallup, Youth Canoe Journey 2024. And what this paddle is for is teaching the youth the traditions of the tribes. All of the canoe families are welcome, but all of the canoe families they really encourage them to bring their kids, bring the youth, bring the young ones who need to take over the traditions once the elders pass on. And so it is the last year's protocol theme was basically just reunification, getting back to the old ways. This year it is Puyallup, and their theme is the Youth Canoe Journey. And Andre, I can't believe it, but you were not lying. It absolutely was called Grounded for Life, and the uncle always knows of the guy, and the name of the show is Grounded for Life, and the actor who played the uncle was in the movie Goodfellas. He was, I think, his Ray Liotta's younger brother in Goodfellas. He made the sauce in the kitchen when the helicopters were overhead. Anyway, it's that actor. He knows a guy. So anyway, this is the this is the map sort of. This is the year. Yeah, words. This is the Power Paddle to Puyallup Youth Canoe Journey, and this is the paddle. No! Uh-oh. Hold on. No. Why isn't it there? Okay, hold on. Oh, why isn't it there? Okay, hold on, you guys. Hold on. Well, that sucks. Because I have it. I really do. Okay, maybe I don't. You guys. Hold on. This is the one I didn't want to do. I know. We are. Why aren't you capturing it? It worked before. Okay, well, here we go. I know, right? I need to pay the light bill. Okay, you guys, we're gonna... Okay, first off, you guys know how important maps are to me, and so this is really pissing me off, okay? Okay. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna watch this recap of, the Salish paddle, the 2023 paddle, because if you remember, I made a 30-minute long video of all of the tribes coming into Alki and landing on Alki with the proper disembarkment protocol being followed for every single canoe. And here, let's watch this. And this is basically kind of our second Lono listening break. And and I'll go try to do the thing that I'm going to try to do. All right, here we go. Boop.
Good day, my friends. To all of you, my honorable people, you have arrived to the land of the Muckleshoot people. It is joyful for us to see all of you. You have honored our people. Your traveling by water is good. We give thanks to everyone for being here. We will sing, we will dance, and we will enjoy visiting one another. Come to shore now.
right, so let's see here. There we go. Yeah, the lowness of the canoe also depends on the weight of the paddlers, totally. And then and I did notice that a lot of the canoes, they're much higher at the bow and the stern, and then they get a lot lower and wider towards the middle. And it looks like people in the middle definitely don't have as much clearance as the people near the front and in the back. But I absolutely cannot speak to what tribes use what shapes, what tribes prefer what shapes. For all I know, and my instinct, which is not a good one, is the tree probably also dictates dictates a little bit of the shape of the canoe. But do not listen to me with that. That's me just throwing ideas, pulling them out of the air, and it sounds like a good idea to me. I don't know. So yeah, I cannot emphasize enough. I cannot speak to the traditions behind these canoes or their design. And absolutely, these are ocean-going canoes. Abso-flippin-lutely. In fact, to prove they're ocean-going canoes, I got the map, you guys. I fixed it. I got the map. So, boop. This is the paddle map for the Power Paddle to Puyallup youth journey. This is where everybody's going to be coming from. As you can see, we've got the Quileute coming out from the actual open ocean. The Makah tribe. The Makah tribe may already be on your radar this year. We've talked about them, I think, this year on Statterbox, Chatter with Statter, but the Makah tribe has been in the news this year. They recently finished a decades-long battle in regards to their whale hunting allowances, and I believe the Supreme Court finally got to weigh in on their treaty rights about hunting whales, and they have been resecured. The Makah are allowed to hunt their whales like as per the agreements in the treaties from hundreds of years ago. And then we've got Pillar Point, which is Strait of Juan de Fuca. And as you can see up north on the red route, those are tribes that are coming from, those are First Nations tribes coming from Vancouver Island. And then up north, not on the island, but I actually have a couple more. Actually, here we go. That shows the very top of the map. So you've got up, I would say, let's see here. I want to say that's Horseshoe Bay, British Columbia area. You've got Squamish coming in, and then a little bit further south, you've got Tsawwassen coming in, and then crossing the border back to the United States, you've got Nooksack, you've got Lummi, you got Samish, you've got Swinomish, you've got the Stillaguamish, you've got the Stauksualitl, you've got the Camano Island Tulalip, you got the Port Townsend, you got the Sklallam, you got the Elwha, you got the Suquamish, and the like. And actually, here we go. These are all of the families that are going to be coming in. Now, on that recap video for the 2023 Paddle to Muckleshoot, there was a list of about 40 or 50 families that were listed on the protocol list. That means about 40 or 50 canoe families tribes were working there, paddling to that particular event. This event actually has 77 different canoes representing over 65 different tribes. And I can tell you right now that the Portland All Nations Canoe family, obviously coming from the Columbia River area. And then if you look, we've got the Snoqualmie Canoe family. That's coming down the rivers from the mountains in Washington. We've got the Chief Leschi School Canoe family. That is a high school. Chief Leschi School is a high school. So I'm very curious to see what that canoe family might be. But all these canoe families, including second page of the canoe families, 77 different canoes. Now, obviously, some of these canoes are coming from the same place. And there are a ton of these tribes and canoe families that I'm not even gonna try. I just can't even. So just get familiar with these words and some of these new letters, and new to our eyes, new to our English speaking eyes. And that is the amount of people that are going to be taking place on this particular paddle. And I'm going to assume that obviously not every single canoe is going to be filled with children, but given the theme of the event, I do believe that many of these canoes will be having lots of younger folk paddling, if not the entire way, obviously part of the way. And I believe it might have been eMusic, but I might be making this up, who commented on the let's see here. Well, in that video that I showed, the recap of the event, there was a bunch of people on the shorelines with the tents and all those crowds there watching them pass by. That was a landing spot, I believe, in Suquamish. No, that was a landing. I'm not going to tell you where that landing spot was. I think it might have actually been on the Jamestown Sklallam Reserve up on the Strait of Juan de Fuca. Either way, it didn't look like that at Alki for the landing, because the protocol ceremony was up on the actual reservation. But for all the other landings that they do on the way to the event, that's exactly what the landings look like. It's filled with the support people, their families, the people who have driven there to, have with the tents and the this and the other for the canoes, the paddlers of the canoes, etc. And so yeah, it becomes this larger and larger and larger gathering at each stop that they go. And so it's going to culminate with the Puyallup this in about a week. They're going to be coming through. They're not going to be landing at Alki. They will be paddling past Alki, so I might try to get some footage, but I'm not so sure. I don't know how close their route will take them to the shore, and whether or not that footage will be any good. And Puzzycat coming in with another 2-minute warning, or with the 2-minute warning, and I appreciate that, Puzzycat, but you know what? I'm going to ignore you. And you know what? You're going to like it. That's right, Puzzycat, you're going to like it, because I told you we're going to show him some love today. This is one more Lono listening break, and then we will wrap it up. This particular Lono listening break, I chose this song because it is about the paddling event. Good to see you, Puzzycat. Glad you've been here all night. This is about a Molokai paddling event for the Vahinis. And it is the Vahini O Molokai race. I actually don't know what it's really called, but basically it's the lady outrigger, the Vahini outrigger paddlers. They have a race from Molokai to Oahu, and it's pretty amazing. I mean, the dudes do too, but this song wasn't written about the dudes. This song was written for the women paddlers. And as soon as I can find it, here we go. We will listen to it. And then I'm going to shut up and we'll be done. All right, let's do it. Number 3 Lono song for the day.
Thank you, Ann, Elise, Ware. Thank you very much. Hammer Jang Gang. Check that out, huh? Styling. You got it straight? Okay, yeah. Right there. Okay, let me see. Make sure the body is straight, okay? Let me see. Okay. Let's go. kane hoi wā o mōlo kai. Amalo holo holo mai, e kauna ka kai. Kalohi ke kai e olu olu, pa hea mali e. Kane hoi wā o mō kai. Kamalo holo holo mai, e kanaka kai. Kalohi ke kai e olu olu, pa hea mali e. Ke kai o pono uli vai. Hoi, hoi, kako. He nani ke kai o puko o. Hoi, hoi, kako. He nani ke kai o kapaakea. Hoi, hoi, kako. He nani ke kai o molokai. Hoi, hoi, hop. Hoi. Ke kai o puko hoi hoi kako. E nani ke kai o kapaakea hoi hoi kako. E nani ke kai o molokai hoi hoi hop. Hoi. Made it through. Thank you, Ann. Thank you very much.
All right, awesome. So I want to thank all of you guys for hanging out that extra few minutes. Had to squeeze in that last one, little Lono listening break there. And Gina, the purr balls are happy. Although I have to say, the last time I saw Dusty, he was covered in little burrs. I don't know where he slept, but he came in just covered with little sticker balls. So I had to take him off. But other than that, and he came in, I think, asking me to. He's like, Mom, I'm covered, help. So everybody's good. And Pussycat, I don't know if you're lying about having a landline and a rotary phone, but honestly, dude, I'm a little bit jealous. I would love to have a landline and a rotary phone. Those rotary phones, I would have knocked myself out if I'd hit myself on the head with that flippin' rotary phone. Those things are super heavy. Don't hit yourself in the head with a rotary phone, and don't drop your rotary phone on your toe. There we go. Those are the words of wisdom, all right? All right. Okay, cool. So, is today Wednesday? Yes, today is Wednesday. which means next time we're going to see each other will be Statter Box at the cinema, 6 p.m. West Coast time. We're watching the movie Thelma. Thank you guys for subbing, resubbing, gift subbing. Thank you for the raid. Thank you for the chats. Thank you for the biddies. Mostly thank you just for being here and having a good old time. I am also thankful that you guys put up with a potentially dangerous topic about politics. And I'm so proud of us for not being dangerous. All right, you guys, have a good one. We'll see each other Saturday, maybe Sunday. Take care.